My topic for this speech was on Muslim discrimination in the American population. So, the reason I chose this topic was because I have never experienced this type of discrimination, as I am not Muslim or Arabic, as a lot of people confuse the two and automatically believe that a Muslim looks Arabic or Islamic in appearance. So, I don't want to bore anybody with statistics or anything that they might already know, which is what a lot of these articles did to me. But one thing I did that really stood out to me was that the actual increase in discrimination against Muslim Americans become had increased 1,600% to even 1,700%, excuse me. So, after I thought about this statistic a little more, I guess it was more shocking to think that the American population would allow the news and the media to infect their minds more than try to step back and look at the political and historic motivations behind uh, turning people against another group like this in America. So, the main tool of manipulation here is religion, and it even took me reading the articles about discrimination against atheism to really comprehend how religion affects the American political arena. You can be discriminated against in any religion that isn't the main Christian followed religion in America. So, like, there's even so many forms of Christianity that you could follow, and you won't be taken seriously unless you follow the specific majority rule religion in this country. And it just blows my mind because we came here trying to find this country in the name of religious freedom and the separation between religion and state. I mean, the reason we did this in the first place was because there were so many kings and queens and rulers of any kind, really, that would completely overturn the religious followings of their people at every switch of ruler. So, the fact that they would rule in the name of divine right, they would have to have all the people in their territory believe in the same God. And that's just how so many religions got introduced to these people in the first place, is that every switch of the ruler would mean switching religions as well. And if somebody were so devout in their followings of a certain religion, to abandon them just because the king or queen changed, they would either hide it or they would die before they hid it. And that's why a lot of people felt the need to leave at the first opportunity in the first place. So we came and we sailed across the seas. We had treacherous journeys just to land on this patch of treacherous land. And we made these tiny colonies. And then, instead of trying to work together with the natives that were already here, we persecuted them too for their beliefs and their followings being savages, and we pushed them to the outskirts of society while we built what we wanted here. And it's just crazy to me that, and it breaks my heart, that anyone in modern society would allow something so illusionary as Greek mythology and religion, because they're really on the same level. If you think about Greek mythology, it's just a bunch of gods instead of one. And it originated as a religion, but then people decided that can't be the religion and made it myth. So it's just mind-blowing to me that we'll let something so illusionary as religion dictate what we do as a society and the hatred that we feel and the persecution, and even not see how they use religion to manipulate us, like looking at the Patriot Act that was passed directly after 9/11. This really minimized American freedoms and privacy, especially on like Cyberly. We were taken away a bunch of data freedom, and what the government did with our data, instead of keeping us safe from terrorists, is they sold it to corporations. And when a whistleblower such as Edward Snowden tries to expose the government to the American public, they get persecuted themselves and pushed into another country and banished from the US and banished from seeing their family because they don't want them to get hurt. So it's just so destroying and disgusting and exhausting to see how humanity could be so much more productive if we didn't have so many wedges of division between us, such as the discriminations we face, especially in religious fields. The sources that I used were all provided to us through our professor. I used the 2 articles about discrimination against atheism, and I read all the articles about discrimination against Muslims. I hope you guys enjoyed.